So we're just going to continue on where we left off. So I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to take chair 2 and put it here, and I'm going to take chair 1 and put it here, just so you get the idea. This couch is just in the way. See? So we're just making this like this. So I basically have the 2. And actually looking at it, I can see the chairs are a little bit low. Good. And there we go. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go ahead and drop it down here. And then we can delete that. And now the couch. Okay, so I'm actually going to make 3 couches out of this. I'm going to create empty, and we're going to make this one a, we'll say couch small. I'm just going to duplicate it, Control D, and this one will be couch medium. All right. So if you're doing a platformer, it's a good idea that you can have like multiple size platforms. Make one little block and then just put one block after the other to make different size platforms, so you don't have to do it manually each time. And then we'll do large, couch large. Okay. Now for couch small, I'm only going to need the 2 side pieces. So it's going to be 1 and 3. Oops. This. So I'm going to Control D. I'm going to put those underneath couch small. Now for couch medium, I am going to need all 3 of these. Control D. I'm going to put that underneath couch medium. And then then we'll just take this and put underneath couch large. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to minimize this. I'm going to take both of these and turn them off so I can see. I just took the set active off. I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it over on this side, and I'm going to take this and put it over on this side. And basically I made my small couch. So there's that. So I'm going to take that, drop it in here, and we will delete that one. I'm going to take couch medium, I'm going to turn it back on, and I'm going to open that up, and we'll take this piece and we'll put it over here. I'm going to take this piece and we're going to put it over here. And I'm going to take this one and put this back over a little bit. So we have a couch, and good. And we'll take that, plop that down there, and I'm going to delete it. And now we're going to turn this one back on. All right, and I'm going to open this up, and then I'm actually going to duplicate the middle piece again. So Control D. So I'm going to take this one, put it over here, take this one, put it over here, and then this will go roughly here-ish, and this will go roughly here-ish. Good. And then we'll take this one, and pull this up against it, and this one, and put this one up against that, and there's our large couch. Okay, and we'll drop that in there. All right, now, and then I'll delete this. Okay, so we do have one problem, just to kind of show you what the problem is that let's say I take one of these prefabs, and I'll just take the couch large. We'll put that there, and then let's say I take my character, all right, and I'll just put her above it. And right now she's not on, so we'll just do foreground so you can see her. Okay. Now let's say we take her and I add a component, and I'll do a physics 2D, and I'll add a rigid body. Now watch what happens. She's gonna fall like gravity should, and nothing stops her. What I need to do is I have to add collider, so there's something for it to bounce against. Right now this is an image, but it doesn't have anything else built into it. So on her, I would have to add a component, physics 2D box collider, and I'd have to change the size of it here. So let me size. Well, I don't care that much about that one right now. We're just doing this as an example. And I could take couch large and add a component, physics 2D box collider, and then it now can rest on that. Okay, so obviously this has got to change its size and stuff. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete her because she's gonna be a little bit different. Come on, delete. There we go. So basically, I'm gonna do it to the top one, not to each. Otherwise, I have to do each one of these individually. I'm just gonna do the top one, and I'm just gonna remove this component. So what I got to do is on this, the top part of it, I'm gonna add component, physics 2D. and it's going to be a box collider, and basically it just allows it to collide. So I'm going to change my size. So I'm going to go X, and I'm going to go all the way out to the armrest, basically. And then the Y, I'm going to bring down a little bit, and then I got to do an offset on Y to bring it down. So we'll say like that. That way it's kind of halfway in between this and this. All right. I'm not going to try and make it like that because then it'll just keep bumping into each one of these. I'm just going to make it one long thing. Okay. And that's good. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit apply. So that way you'll see when I go, oops, I got to go to prefabs here. You'll see that on this one, it now has that same thing. Okay. So when you hit apply, when you have it in up here, it applies it to the prefab as well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. And I'm actually, yeah, we'll delete this for now. I'm just going to go right down the line. So I'm going to take this guy, pop him up, and I'm going to go ahead and actually, we'll do this. I'm going to delete that. We'll take all of these, and we're going to add components, physics 2D, box colliders. We're going to do them all individually afterwards, but add component. Physics 2D, box collider. I had to do these last ones because this one was already done. Now they all have box colliders, but they're not in the right position, so I got to do each one individually. So you can see this is way up here. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's kind of up there. So I got to change this down a little bit and move it down a little bit, like so. I'm gonna hit apply, and then I can just delete it, and I'm just gonna go right down the line. So I'm gonna take this one. And you can see it's at the top here. It should be obviously on the seat part here. So I'm just going to go ahead and scale it. Oops, not this way, sorry. Scale it on the Y. And then we're going to shift it on the Y down like that. Okay. And so that looks good. And then we'll hit apply. And I can delete that. And I will take the other one. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Scale it on the Y. And then move her down like that. Apply. Delete it. These actually don't need to have box colliders, so I don't know why I put those in there. That was dumb of me. So I'm just going to go ahead and right click and remove component. None of the clouds need that. I don't know. I just put that in there by default. I wasn't really thinking. Okay, so pop this guy up there. And that one actually looks good because it's just the size of the table. So the table is good. We'll grab this one. And you can see this is way off because it's part of a group. So I got to make this quite a bit larger. And we're going to make it bigger this way. And definitely bigger, oops, this way. And then we're going to offset it so it goes up there. So it's to the top of the bed. Beautiful. And then we'll just hit apply. And I'm going to delete. And this one we already did as my example. Plop that up there. And same thing. Change my size so it's wide enough. Scale it down like this, move it down like that, and we'll hit apply. And I'm just going to delete it. And again, a lot of reiteration here, but that's good. You learn more from practice than anything else. And scale this down, move it down. Okay. And we'll hit apply, and we will delete. And lastly is this guy. And we will scale it out. Boom, boom, like this. It's a little bit off this way. Good. And we'll call that good enough. Okay. And we will apply. And I will delete. And good. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this large couch up here. Just so I have something to practice on. And I am going to put a couple of those in there. All right. Good. Okay. So I just have two. That way when my character is walking along, I have something to work with. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and now I'm just going to save this. Control S. Yay. All right. So I got all my prefabs in there. That all looks good. Now all I got to do is the actual characters. So go back to sprites and we will do her first. So what I can do is click and drag across and drop it in there. And what it's going to do is it's automatically, I want to do it this way or not. You know what? No, we're not going to do it this way. Cancel. We're just going to do one. So I'm going to grab this one here. Actually, we'll do it this way. I'm going to go to game object and we will create an empty. And we will call this player. So that's what this is going to be. And we will add a component, and it's going to be a, where are you? A rendering. And where are you? 2D renderer. It's not there. It's not underneath mesh, right? No. Hang on. Hang on a second. Well, I couldn't find the name of it, but I know what it's called. So just to show you, actually, what you can do is if you can't find it in here, you can just type it if you know what it is, which is probably faster anyway. So it's a sprite renderer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach a sprite to this by clicking on this. And I'm just going to grab the first Louise picture. Boom. And there we go. I'm going to change this to foreground. There she is. And then order and layer, I'm going to put her as 1 because we're going to make the enemy 0. So basically she overlaps the enemy. She'll be on top of it if that should happen. Okay, good. So I got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a component, and we'll just exit out of that, and it's going to be a physics 2D, and it will be a rigid body, okay? And this is all fine. The one thing I'm going to do is go down to constraints, and I want to freeze rotation. This way when we go to move this, because it's a rigid body, that's how we're going to apply force to it through physics. If I push it forward, I don't want it to accidentally like start spinning, because obviously it'll bump into things. This will keep it from rotating on Z, which in this case is this direction, okay? So that's good. Everything else is fine. I need to also add another component for physics 2D, and what I want to do is find the best thing that's going to represent this shape. And if you look at it, I would say probably a boss collider. There are other ones available as well that are more accurate, but I think for this sort of thing, boss collider makes the most sense. So then I'm going to go down in here, and you can see it made it right around the outside edge of this, which is not what I want. So I got to change the size. And we're going to make it tighter to the character, which looks pretty good there. And then I need to squeeze it this way. Okay, like that. Good. And we're going to call that all good. All right. All right, so now if I were to hit play, it should drop and land on this. Good. All right. Now that's pretty good. I'm going to save it again. Now what I need to do to this is actually... make the animations for it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to animation while I have it still selected, and I'm gonna go create, and I'm gonna go to my assets. I'm gonna go to animations, and we're gonna call this Louise idle. Okay, so this is gonna be your idle pose. We'll save, and we'll add a property, and it's gonna be a sprite renderer. Okay, and sprite. Okay. Not giving me the little plus. It's kind of weird. And so basically it's just going to be this. Her idle is just standing still. I don't really have an idle, but if you had an animation of them like breathing or something, which is pretty common, you'd make that the idle animation. All right, so that's one, which is not really any. So I'm going to click on this little arrow here and create a new clip, and we'll call it Louise Run. And for this one is again going to be a sprite renderer. So I'm going to select this and hit the little plus. Okay. And what I'm going to do with this is that every, I'm going to say 10 frames, I'm going to click in here. So you just double click and it makes a new thing. And you can see I'm in record mode. You can see it up here. It's red, but this is all clicked in. And I gotta make sure I have her selected. And this is red. So now what I'm going to do is it starts off with her. Actually, I'm going to go on this one here. I'm going to start off with it with one leg coming forward. So we'll say this one, Louise 2, and then I'm going to do the one that is middle of the road, which is Louise 1, and then I'm going to go to 20, and this will be Louise 3. Good. And then it's got to go back to Louise 1. Okay, here, just because this is the way I got it set up. And good. So let me see. Boom. Boom, boom. So, and then it always goes to 1 second. So I'm just going to delete that frame. So I just selected the diamond and hit delete. I'm just going to hit play to see what that looks like. Okay. So basically what's going on is it has this one, this one, this one. But then this one never holds. It holds for 1 frame and then it automatically goes back. So it's never sitting on it. So I got to do is actually take this and I'm just going to copy it. Or I shouldn't even have to copy it. I'm just going to go, I'm not going to go to 40 because that'll hold it too long. I'm going to go to 39. Because that way it holds to 40 and then it goes back here. And now if I hit play, You can see there it is, okay? Yay! And then I'm going to unclick record, and now that's an animation, and then I'm going to add one more, and it's just going to be